Hello everyone and welcome back if you are already subscribed, which by the way, if you are, thank you so much. We are still in the beginning stages of this channel here. If you are new, which most of you probably are, welcome. My name is Kendall and I'm starting a new channel here in 2024, all things skincare and makeup. In today's video, I figured let's do my go-to full glam, everything I've been doing for the recent holidays that just passed, birthdays, events, you name it. I've shared little snippets on TikTok and IG, but nothing super in depth, so I figured this is the perfect place to do so. So without further ado, let's get started. Before we start, a little side note, I do have normal to oily skin, so I kind of like to keep the base really fresh and natural, but more mattified in the T-zone. I already moisturize with my Pharmacy Honey Halo Moisturizer. Even if you have oily skin, always moisturize. Before I even start with primers, I will always do brows first, so just taking the Benefit Precisely My Brow Pencil in the shade 3. And I'm not even that precise. I literally just draw a line at the bottom of the front of the brow. I don't even do much to start making little hair strokes because what happens with the brow gel, when I start combing it through, it kind of moves the pencil up for you. So I'll just do the little line here. And then I will start at the arch of the brow and just start making little strokes. Again, not being too specific, which honestly I love because it just saves time. And I've been doing this technique for a while now and I love it. I love that I don't have to spend a million years on brows. Brows are my least favorite thing. Now to set them in place, I do use the Got2b Styling Spiking Glue. I just put it in this little tub here I got from Target. It's just easier to carry in my makeup bag. Spoolies you can get on Amazon, I think in like a pack of 50 or 100. So I just run this through and you can already see that line disappeared. And I'll even run the spoolie in the opposite direction of the hair growth just to make sure everything is fully coated. And I flip the spoolie over, press them down. It looks pretty crazy right now, but I will take a makeup wipe and just clean up around the edges to shape them. And I'll even take it underneath the brow because sometimes you get the gel on your skin and that'll look kind of funky underneath foundation. Just so they don't look super blocky, I will take the spoolie again and just ever so slightly fluff any of the areas that I think are just a little too perfect. For primer, I use two different ones. This is the One Size Secure the Blur, and this I will use for the T-zone only, just to make sure the pores are nice and blurred. And the reason I do primer after brows is because that makeup wipe will obviously remove any primer you lay down, so brows always come first. And then Milk Hydro Grip for the rest of the face. And this just really helps your makeup stick, especially if you do have oily skin or normal to oily skin. So I'll let this kind of get a little tacky, and two foundations that I really love are the Haus Labs and the NARS Light Reflecting. I honestly don't even know what causes me to interchange them, but I think today I'm going to use NARS. This is the shade Santa Fe, and I'll just apply with a brush first. This is the Say Big Brush, I think is what it's called. I'll link everything down below, obviously, but pretty sure it's called the Big Brush. So I'll buff this in first and then blend it out with a sponge. I feel like I just get better coverage this way. I have a lot of redness here, which also this foundation is really good for, so I think that's probably why I've been gravitating toward it, but they're both really good. And then when it comes to the brows, it's honestly not that difficult. I think that's also why I like using a brush. Just kind of carefully go around them so you don't get foundation on top. Whatever's left on my hand, I will just take the sponge and press that in. Okay, moving right along. Next I'll go in with cream contour bronzer. I have the Rare Beauty in Happy Soul, and I just apply it directly to the face everywhere I would bronze or contour, including the nose. I just press this in with a brush. I don't think they have this brush anymore. It's from It Cosmetics. It's the, what is this called? Velvet Luxe Soft Focus Sculpting 315. I feel like I haven't seen it. It looks like this. It's kind of angled and really dense. Really nice for pressing in cream contour. To blend out the nose, I just take this little dual-ended Patrick Ta brush. So this is like a little dense end and this is the fluffier side. So taking the more dense side and blending this in. But once I get to the top, I will just blend into the front of the brow. Now for the other contour stick, this is the Westman Atelier in Biscuit. I just add a tiny bit of this only to the areas that I want shadow. So then I'll go back in with the sponge to blend any edges or anywhere that might have gotten a little bit too dark. For blush, I actually tend to change it up quite a bit, but I will keep the brands that I like consistent. So either Rare Beauty Liquid Blush, nude sticks, or I like the Kylie Glow Bomb. This is the Rare Beauty one in the shade Hope. So I'll just put a tiny bit of this on and blend it out with a brush. For concealer, we had so many new concealers not this year. This is 2024. In 2023, we had so many new concealers, and one of my favorites was the Kylie Cosmetics, and this is the shade 3.5N. I'll also blend this onto the eyelid so that when I apply eyeshadow, I have a nice even base. It has really nice coverage, and it's really comfortable as well. I've really been liking this. And obviously, since that kind of blended over the blush a little bit, I'll just take the brush that I used and whatever's left, just kind of blend those together. Same thing goes for the nose contour. Nothing added to this brush, just blending where the concealer and contour meet. All right, now to set the face, I used two different powders, and this one is actually new to me this year. This is the Givenchy Prisme Libre in, I think, 2? Yeah, no, wait, just kidding, 3. I know a ton of people use this, and it's pretty pricey, but this is actually the mini. The minis came out this year. Oh my god, I keep saying this year. Last year, 2023, and I've been really liking it for the under eyes. It kind of has like a pink tinge to it, so I just take the little puff that it comes with and set the under eyes and eyelids, and it just looks so good. I know it's pricey, but it's definitely worth it, and I probably will get the full size whenever this one runs out. I do also set the rest of pretty much where the concealer was, so the chin, sides of the nose, and center of the forehead too. For the rest of the face, I take the Huda Beauty in Banana Bread. It's kind of got like a little tint to it, so I really like that. Because of the tint, it kind of maintains the color of the foundation, bronzer, blush, everything underneath. I feel like sometimes with translucent powders, even though they say translucent, they kind of like lighten your makeup. So I've been trying this one recently and kind of loving. So I just put this literally everywhere else that the Givenchy did not go. And actually, before I used the Givenchy, I was using another Huda, same powder, just different shade for the under eye. I think it was Cupcake, kind of like a light pink, and I really like that one. I still have some, but I don't know, man, that Givenchy is just so good. Bronzer, I'm gonna do NARS Laguna, and this is just the classic Laguna bronzer. I think it's shade 02. This actually just started trying recently. It's like an OG bronzer, and I don't know why, I just never got around to trying it, and I picked it up a couple weeks ago at Sephora, and I really do like it. They also have it in cream contour form, which I'm kind of curious to try. Bring this down the neck a little, also hit the ears. Then with the fluffy side of that brush I used earlier for the cream contour, I'm taking the same bronzer and taking this right over that cream contour, or I guess cream bronzer. And same thing going into the front of the brow. And typically by this point, I'm starting to hate the feeling of foundation on my lips. So taking a makeup wipe and I'm gonna add some lip balm. I always like to make sure that I have lip balm on, so that way by the time I get to lipstick, lips are nice and hydrated. Okay, blush. Now I actually used two different ones, and these are both Kylie Cosmetics. I just tried Kylie Cosmetics blush for the first time, like a couple months ago, and I really like them. So I have two shades, Baddie on the Block and Winter Kissed. I always start with Baddie on the Block or any kind of peach tone blush, regardless of what brand I'm using. I always like to start with a peach blush just to make sure everything is nice and blended into the bronzer, and just go right over kind of the top of the bronzer going into concealer. Super cute, whatever's left on the brush, tip the nose and above the eyebrows too. And Winter Kissed is a really nice pale pink, so I just use this on the edges of Baddie on the Block going into the concealer, so everything is nice and seamless. You could even take like a really fluffy brush and kind of dust this that way too. But either way, it's a really cute blush combination. These colors are so pretty. I think they're like the #1 colors, and they have been for years, and yeah, they're just really pigmented. I really like them. And like I said, since I am normal to oily skin, I will set my face right now, just so the base is not overly powdery, but also stays in place. I'll do eyes next, and when it comes to eyes, I actually just gravitate toward these two palettes the most. I love neutrals. I'm a neutrals gal. This is the Lunar Beauty Nude Prism palette, and this is Patrick Ta Major Dimension 3, duh. I think today I'm gonna use the Lunar Beauty one. It has a row of shimmers in it, so I like that I can get more variety with this one. And this little guy is kind of cool. I found this on Amazon, and I've been kind of playing around with it recently. It's the, what's it called? It's called a Shadow Moon. Yeah, it comes like this. It's basically like a little doodad to make your eyeshadow look nice and crisp and clean. I usually use tape, but sometimes tape does like kind of take off your foundation underneath. So I don't know, I've been kind of experimenting with this and I'm really liking it. So I'm just starting with basically a transition shade, and I don't usually do too much for my usual makeup looks. Just taking a fluffy brush and putting this all over the crease and buffing up and out. This is the shade Vibes, by the way. This palette is so good. I'm actually mixing it with a little bit of I'm Shy too. It's kind of like a light orangey color. I don't know, I just kind of wing it. Usually start with Vibes and then go into like the deeper browns. The only thing I am figuring out with this little doodad, it's kind of weird, but I don't know. I still think it's kind of fun rather than using tape, is just holding it in place. It's like the only annoying thing. But yeah, I mean, works pretty good, and it's silicone so you can reuse it. You just wipe it off with like a makeup wipe. I'm taking two darker shades now. This is Tease and Classic mixed together. I'm just putting this on the outer V, making sure to overlap that. What is this freaking called? Shadow moon, the shadow moon. So you don't miss any areas. So usually I do like a neutral eye. I feel so weird talking to you like this. But yeah, usually I do like a neutral eye and then taking the shade Moody and Classic on a little pencil brush and basically just doing shadow liner to the outer half of the lid. Going back in with Tease and Classic over top to really blend that out. Ready? And then moment of truth. Ta-da. And my makeup is not messed up underneath. So a little bit of a learning curve, but I've been reaching for it more than my tape lately. I think I just love the fact that it doesn't take off my makeup. I think it was only like 15 bucks, 14 bucks. Something like that. And then anytime I apply shimmer, I just use my finger. So I'm gonna use the shade here, Laura, and just pop this on the lid. Boom, boom, boom. That's it. I usually just take the light transition shade, so Vibes, and put this on the lower lash line. So I'm gonna do the other eye and I'll be back. Okay, before applying a mascara, I'm just gonna tightline the waterline on the upper lash. And this is the Mario pencil in the Perfect Brown. And I like doing this, it just makes the lashes pop without obviously adding like a full strip of eyeliner on the actual lid. I don't have a lot of lid space, so I like to keep my liners pretty thin. Now for mascara, this is my favorite, and a lot of people's favorites actually. It went viral on TikTok last year. Look at me, I said it right, 2023. And it's the Benefit Fan Fest mascara. I think it just comes in one color. I don't know, but it's black, and I actually don't know if it's waterproof. Pretty much feels like it every time whenever I take it off. It's on there pretty good. If you like volumizing and like fan effect mascaras, you will love this. I was always a drugstore mascara girly, but this changed it for me. It sure did. Like watch, 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 watch. Oh my gosh, it just coats every lash and like separates them. Unlike any mascara I've ever tried. And like half the time I find that I don't even need false lashes. I do like to sometimes pop a little bit of trios on the outer lash line, but it's so good. So I always usually do upper lashes and then a tiny bit on the lower lashes. I know it's like a preference thing, but I like mascara on the bottom lashes. I just feel naked without it, you know? P.S. if you ever get mascara on your skin, I don't know if you can see, I got a little bit right there. Leave it, let it dry, and then flake it off with a spoolie, and it'll be like it never happened. Actually, I'm gonna wait for highlighter since I've got that mascara there. I'm gonna do lip. Oh man, the one I wanted is in my purse. I don't wanna get up. Okay, well, we'll do something else. Makeup by Mario pencil in Travis. Really nice brown color. I feel like I pretty much only use brown tone lip liners. Ooh, I look crazy. Not to worry. We're gonna do, actually I don't think I've done this combo before. This is the Lunar Beauty lipstick in the shade Icon. Really nice nude, really nice nude. Then I go right over that liner so it doesn't look crazy. I think by now we can flake this off. I'm gonna do a little bit of gloss too. This is Kylie in the shade Diva, I think. Yeah, Diva. And add a little liner back to the upper lip. Should I do lashes? Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. If I do, it's just trios, but I really don't want to do lashes right now. I think I'm gonna skip lashes, but if I do, I like the Kiss trios or the Ardell like individual trio looking things. Let's see if I have it. I don't have the little case that goes on it, but they look like this, just like little flares. Last thing is just a little highlighter, and this is from Benefit. It is the Cookie Highlighter. Super pretty, and I will put it on the high points of the cheek and tiny bit on the brow bone. I don't like anything too crazy, so I don't use a whole lot, and I really work it in so it just kind of looks like it's melted into the skin, like so. And for the nose, I will always take it on my finger just to concentrate it right there. And a tiny little brush for the bridge. Blend it out with the finger if needed. Sometimes I will add a little bit of cream blush on top of that, just to make sure everything is nice and seamless. So for the purpose of demonstration, I will show you, this is the Patrick Ta She's Blushing. I'm just taking the cream blush here on a sponge and tapping it on the back of my hand first before ever so slightly tapping it to the cheek. Blush is always the first thing to go, so I'm not afraid of it. Perfect. Okay, and then lastly, some more setting spray, and this is the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless. I don't know if I said that earlier, but same one. And after the final spray of setting spray, I will just take that Givenchy powder again and get just the tiniest bit on the puff to apply to any areas that I would get shiny or oily throughout the day, just so they stay nice and matte. So sides of the nose usually, chin, and the forehead right here. Everything else is nice and just slightly glowy because the setting spray just takes away that powdery look, but I like to stay matte in these areas, so this is always the very, very, very last step for me. And there you have it. I'm off to film some more content for the day, but I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And of course, if you have any questions or even future video ideas, leave them in the comments. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.